Hello everybody and welcome back to Insurmountable, here where we're with the scientists and we're going to be taking on the second major mountain, this one here. There's normal weather, but there are especially cold nights, increased time cost of moving, and we're going for very thin air, so we need to keep an eye out for oxygen. If we can find an oxygen mask en route or get some skills to help us with that, it'll be very useful indeed. Well, let's get going. This is going to be a little bit longer and tougher than some of the side missions, I reckon, especially as this is the second major mountain that we have to climb. There's a long way for us to get there. We are a little bit further away. It's a long way for us to go, goodness me. So we need to make use of what we can find en route. We are playing as a scientist. Life is strange. The cliff face rises impressively above you. It seems surreal, so incredible. The research station, the time loop. What have you gotten yourself into? Cold air flows into your lungs, and now to top it all off, you have to think of your way to an experiment with an antenna at the top of this mountain. You gaze down at the glowing green stone. Even if that woman's theory is correct and the stone is charged with radiation, why would that affect the time loop, and are you putting yourself in danger? You take a deep breath and give yourself a shake. Waiting here twiddling your thumbs is not an option. Better to face your fate. And we've got an achievement. Into new heights. Reach the second mountain. We've got a long way to go before we might have reached it, but we're nowhere near the top. We're going to start off just as I normally do, trying to find as many of these events while I'm lower down to help me along. Although the wishing tree we're not going to have to get that much for. We don't need health, we'll just gain a small bit of energy, but it gets us experience. And actually, I don't know if it does get us experience, but we're going to take it nonetheless. Looks like there's a frozen river going through the middle, which might actually be the safest way to go. Not entirely sure, but let's see what's over here, because if we can get more items early on, that's going to be very useful indeed. Found a container. We're going to have to bust it open, or we can spend a lot of time searching. It's a lot of time to waste, but we could go through the night. Let's just take a quick look, see if we find anything. Find some valuable equipment. We find some gloves. That's unfortunate, we already have gloves. But that's for energy cost. We'll take these gloves because if we have some issues with body temperature, that will help us out. Especially if we travel at night, that might be pretty useful. For the time being, though, I don't think that's a major concern. We do not want to be crossing that river, goodness me. We're going to have to cross it at some point. I don't see many other options. So let's just cross it as quickly as we can, and then hopefully we don't need to cross the river again. But there's a cave over there. I'd like to head for that to spend the night in, so I can save the uses of the tent when we're much further up to the top. In a deep pit, you discover the half-decayed carcass of a goat. It must have fallen into the pit and looks gored by the sharpened stakes at the bottom. There's no doubt about it, this was a trap. You squid down into the pit, it looks like there's something pinned underneath the goat. We're going to have a look around the edge of the pit, we need to be careful. Judging by the size, it appears to have been dug for a bear. No amount of goats at the bottom of the pit will convince you to climb down there. Yeah, I'm not dealing with a dead or alive bear. Okay, level up. I'd like something which goes the entire time. Whenever you wake up, gain 4 energy, 4 body temperature, and 4 oxygen. It's not bad. I don't think we need these at the moment because they're only limited time effects. I'd rather take things which are permanent throughout the entire mission. That's how I've always tried to play this, things which are only there for 24 hours or 48 hours, that's not that useful because half the time we're going to be sleeping anyway. As you pick away across your boulders, someone tells me to move carefully, and I'm going to do so because... Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. You slowly climb from rock to rock, you're nearly there when your foot catches on something. A boulder hurtles down to the frozen ground below. You hear a short, sharp scream. You cast it after the stranger. He is lying motionless on the ground, blood pooling around his head. Your whole body is shaking. I think we just killed him. Understandably, 10.4 sanity. That's a big loss of sanity very early on. That's a bad amount of mental stress to have got early on. That's really not great at all. Okay, let's try get past that absolutely horrendous start. We're nowhere near the death zone yet because there's a long way to go. Okay, it's nightfall, but we'll keep pushing to the cave. We should be okay. Hopefully we can get some of our sanity back. You reach the shore of a frozen mountain lake. On the embankment, you find what remains of a camp. You take a look around, but there's nothing useful in sight. Or is there? Just a few yards from the street of ice, you spot some unopened canned food. I will definitely try to retrieve it, because having 2 cans of canned food is useful. Having the short-term energy boost is useful indeed. And we'll spend the night here in this cave, and then we can keep moving on. We're a long way to the death zone yet. But let's explore the tunnel while we can. I don't really want to step into the darkness, but I don't really have a choice. After a while, your hands find an object on the ground. It feels unusual. Is it a body? We find equipment. We found some climbing shoes, some snow boots. 20% and minus 20% energy on snow. Okay, that's fine. I'll wear them. How much we're going to be on snow at this stage, I'm not sure, but we may have some more later on. For the time being, though, we're going to sleep till daytime, and then we will also level up and see what more we can get from there. We do need to watch our sanity, however, because we seem to have a little bit of issues there, that's for sure. Okay, level up. Warm thoughts. Whenever you use consumable, gain 4 body temperature or maximum oxygen for the entire mission. I'm going to take the extra oxygen. That's incredibly useful. We do have some increased stats with the scientist. We made sure to buff him up that way, but even still, it's not ideal. Okay, let's get going. I think I hit my microphone there. I apologise. My pop filter always gets in the way. I need to find a better way for that. Okay, we're now into stormy weather, which is hardly ideal. We can't see an absolute thing. But we're going to head this way and see what we find. We'll probably stop off here and go just get that item over there. While we're low down, the best thing we can do is just hoard all the items possible so that it helps us later down the line. But I am aware that we can't spend too long doing this, because otherwise we're going to have not enough stuff, enough tents or anything to try and get to the very top. You march along a mountain ridge. Its steep slopes are climbed with gnarled trees to find the elements. You spot an oxygen bottle on a narrow and fragile looking ledge. You pick a branch and try to salvage the item. You did it, and we hold the oxygen bottle aloft like a trophy. Very useful indeed. There's a cave here. It's not perfect, but it's probably our best option at the moment. We'll try to sleep through the storm. We'll just have to do a little bit during the day. We'll follow the light. And lots of fireflies. Good, that gets us some sanity back and also a level up. Wonderful. We're going to lie down and sleep for a long time, but that's okay. We'll just have to do some travelling during the night time, but we have to make use of caves when we see them. We're not always going to have the ability to have caves there with us. Okay, under the stars, but +3 body temperature when moving, when resting or in events. 12% energy time cost down on all terrain. We'll take it slow. We'll take the time cost, so we're hopefully doing a little bit better during the correct parts of the day. I don't really see where I'm going. I don't really think there's another option apart from to go over this dangerous terrain, which I'm not thrilled by, but I don't see many other options. I think we're okay though. I think we've been lucky in that regard. I am slightly concerned about our sanity, it must be said. If I go over here, let's go here first, get to the chest, and then we'll head back over to that meeting over there. We're making slow progress upwards, but that's not really the goal at the moment. You come across the ruined foundations of a former dwelling. Herbs are growing in a recess. Just as you're about to gather them, a protruding stone catches your eye. Looks like it can be moved, some kind of switch perhaps. I'm going to flip the switch at the potential cost of a lot of energy. We found some valuable equipment. More gloves that we don't need. Actually, these are better climbing gloves. These are high quality climbing gloves. 15% energy cost as opposed to 10 energy cost. Wonderful. Well, we don't need the normal ones, so I'm happy to leave the basic ones behind. That was actually worth going for, so I'm not too upset about that. Okay, let's go up here. I did see another cave over there, but I'd like to keep going, I think, because otherwise they're going to be going in the night time again. We might find more caves en route anyway. That's why we need to go up there, I think. We found a herb garden. Does someone try to cultivate this landscape? I don't need that many. I'm just going to pluck a few herbs. Okay. we grab one herb. I don't think we need more than that, and I want to save some space. I don't want to waste all my time and energy either. And now that it's daytime, we can have a little bit of a better look-see at things. There's a cave there, which we could make, but it goes over very dangerous terrain. Well, there's a cave here, but that means we have to go back the long way, so we're not going to do that. It must be a safe... goodness me, this is really not a very safe... Really not a very safe route round that we've chosen here. Hopefully once we get up higher, we should be a little bit okay. It should be a little bit better in terms of safety. But I'm not entirely sure I believe that. We need to keep an eye out for our energy if we're going across this dangerous terrain. We may use one of our cans of food early on here just to ensure that we're okay going forward. When moving through rough stone terrain, you step on a treacherous piece of rock twisting your ankle. It's going to have some increased energy costs for the time being. Not perfect, but it's manageable. Goodness me, the terrain here is truly dreadful. Let's go across here. Hopefully we'll be okay. We are, thankfully. We can get to here safely. I'm just trying to pick my way as safely as I can through to that cave up there. There doesn't seem to be many safe options, that must be said. Or do we push up via here? Let's say we went around this way. That's a lot safer than that route. There's way too many... It's way too dangerous, really, for us to attempt. The cave would be nice, but it's not worth it for that issue there. So instead, we're going to go around the much safer route. Like that, I think. That's probably the better way around to do things. And we do have some snow boots, so I'm not too upset about that. Can we go up here? No, okay, so we're going to have to cross a little bit more dangerous terrain. We don't have... I'm just going to eat one of my canned foods, I think. It also gets us some sanity back, which is good, because we seem to be struggling a little bit with the sanity at the moment after we accidentally killed someone. Let's hope that doesn't cause too many issues. A wide crevasse is blocking your path. There is a snow bridge that you think you could use, but you're not certain it is stable. We're going to go around at the cost of time. It's not ideal, but there's a shrine here I'd really like to get to as well. Because the shrine is going to give us something useful. Hopefully sanity. Maybe energy, we'll have to see. What's it going to give us? The shrine can give us either sanity or health. I'm going to take the sanity. It's most welcome. There's a cave there, which is much better for us to go for, so we'll do that. It's not really the way I wanted to go. I was going to go the other way, but I'm not going to say no. This is a big mountain. And even if we reach the top, I'm going to suggest it's probably not the end of the mission. We'll have to see. For the time being, though, let's follow the wind, see what we find. Injured torso, minus oxygen power moving, but ends in 16 hours. That's not great, but we should be able to deal with that. We'll lose some oxygen, but we're nowhere near the death zone, so we'll be able to recover that without too many issues, I would say. Okay, we're back in the stormy weather, which is not perfect. I did see something down the bottom. Somewhere. Where was it? There it is. It's not very safe, but we have to cross this river regardless. It's not like we can just use a Batman grapple hook and get across the other side. We're going to have to give this a go. Saddlebag. You discover a large leather saddlebag. Lying on the ground, right next to it, you discovered faded hoofprints. You find some herbs in the saddlebag. Another moon herb, that's fine. We might actually need to use them this time because our sanity is pretty low. Now, where can we safely get up? I want to get off this icy river. It doesn't feel very safe at all. There's another cave there, but I think I want to probably keep pushing on if I can. There's another cave up here, which is probably better. And we'll spend the night there and then head onwards. Which means we'll be going again during the night time, which is not perfect. I'm going to lie down and sleep. Hopefully I don't get mauled by a bear. Did I get mauled by a bear? Hopefully I didn't. Because there was a strong smell, but it looks like we're okay. Okay, let's climb up here. It's going to be a big energy cost, but hopefully it'll be something worthwhile. A flock of migratory birds flies over your head. You gulp incredulously as the animals try to change formation and make shapes in the heavens. Birds are extremely rare at this altitude, but the sight of them warms your heart. As they slowly disappear, you think about all the mysterious and inexplicable things you've encountered during your journey. Are they the result of natural phenomena? Are they anomalies? Or could the mysterious occupiers be behind them all? You still don't understand what's happening here, but something inside you tells you you'll find what you're looking for. Sanity back. Excellent. And we get some more stuff. Significantly increased experience gain for 48 hours. I'm actually going to take that and just try to get to as many events as possible. And so we can hopefully use that going forward to get even more levels and more useful skills. We've got 48 hours to do so. But I can't see a thing because it's so stormy. We'll head up there. And that would be an event, and there's some caves and stuff over here we can go to should we need. And there's also a shrine, which might be pretty useful actually, because we're a bit low on certain things. Sanity and body temperature especially. Heart of the Explorer. In a rocky hollow, well protected from the wind and weather, you discover a tent, or what remains of one. There are slashes in the top as someone had cut the tent with a sharp blade. Scattered outside the tents are items of clothing and provisions, but no signs of the owner. Why did they leave in such a hurry? To me that sounds like hypothermia, because when you have hypothermia, your body gets really hot, or your body perceives that you feel really hot, so you take off all your clothes, you try and get outside into the cold air, and it would make sense with hypothermia. So that's probably why, unfortunately, if he's gone off without his clothes, or they've gone off without their clothes into the snow, I don't see much hope in them being alive, so we're going to search for provisions. If you're reading the right signs correctly, which I think I am, the owner must have been some kind of explorer and has been gone for some time, and you don't think they're coming back. We find some more moon drugs. Lots of drugs. I know it says moon herbs, but almost certainly moon drugs. 460 experience points. Excellent. We can go to a cave there, but that's some very dangerous terrain. Are we going to need to sleep out in the open? I'd really rather not at the moment. I would rather use my canned food and keep pushing. There's a chest there. I'm just trying to see where our next cave might come from. There's a cave over there. We've got to go across a lot of nasty terrain to get there. Lots of nasty terrain, my word. But we might be able to go there via a different route, because often the game doesn't actually suggest the best route in terms of safety, it suggests the quickest route. Which is not always the best route to go. I'd almost much rather be slower and be safer. And I think that's what we'll do. And it might kind of fix our body clock slightly. No, stop going around the stupid way, please. That's the better way. I don't know how much time we have left on our temporary effect. Still 36 hours. Gigantic footprints. I don't think we've seen these before. You are footprints. You see footprints in the snow in front of you. They've almost been swept away by the wind, but they're clearly human and very large, though like those of a giant. And it appears that this giant is wandering around barefoot. You follow the tracks to a crevasse, where they end. At the bottom of the crevasse, you can make out a strip of cloth. Did someone fall down there? You could jump across and pick up the trail on the other side. We could climb down, jump to the other side. I'm going to climb down and see what we find. Oh, dearie me. You slip and fall down the crevasse. The impact is hard and leaves your head pounding. You're still slightly dazed when you notice a corpse, not that of a giant, but that of a normal-sized woman. You keep closer and look into the two dark, empty eye sockets. What happened to her eyeballs? Could animals have eaten them? You search her torn rack and find an identity card from Research Institute for Zoology, and some equipment. We get some better snow boots. Wonderful, but came at a cost of seeing a lady without eyes, which I'm not sure we enjoyed. Okay. but that also gets us a bit more experience. That gives us another level. I'm going to take the flag, the one which is a permanent file mission. That's warm thoughts. So whenever you use a consumable item, gain 4 body temperature. How long do we have left for our mountain exploration? 75% for another 32 hours. Well, let's keep pushing up there to get to the events as quickly as possible, because we want to make use of our experience gain while we have it. Because we're not going to have it forever, that's for sure. Is there a safer route we can go? If I went around that way, you can just about make it. But with that, I've got another issue there with... I'm using all my canned food quite early on. But it would probably get us to the cave and at the right time of day, so I am going to use it, despite the fact that it could come back to bite us not having any energy at the right time. But I think it's the best option we have, because we can get to these 2 events here and then push to the cave to sleep for the night. We might have been okay, but I didn't want to risk it, and we wouldn't have been able to get to the cave regardless. Property damage. You reach a small plateau with monoliths arranged in a circle. It's like Stonehenge, but in the sky. The remnants of an ancient culture. A figure in a lone cloak is crouching on the ground, muttering something unintelligible. Then they rise and knock over the stone pillars one by one. We're going to watch the figure, see what he does. Interesting. There's something strange about this figure, and you're filled with fear. Nevertheless, you're unable to take your eyes off them. Eventually they notice you and give you an angry look. You want to say something, but you can't get your words out. And they hurry away. This is a strange mountain. We're encountering a lot of strange events at the moment. And we found a melody. Some lovely melodies. Wonderful. It makes us smile. We get some sanity back. Excellent. And another level up. Having these additional points of experience is very useful. We get warm thoughts 2. I take it slow 2 or fresh air 2. I'm going to actually take the fresh air 2, because it means that we can use our time a lot more efficiently, and that feels like a good thing to do. We still have 29 hours left with our experience gain. These are the temporary events I think are good, the ones with the experience gain. We'll spend the night in this cave here so we can save use of our tent. Into the cave cautiously. A short way away, the ground disappears. There's a deep wide vault in the earth in front of you, stretching from one wall to the other. We are not going to... Are we going to explore? I'm just going to lie down and sleep. I think it's the safest thing to do. Because I think trying to explore a deep crevasse might end poorly for us. At least in my opinion. Okay, let's push up to here. Because we've still got a little bit of time left to not explore the mountain, and then we will start pushing upwards. We can go up to that chest there, perhaps. We're making good progress, but still a way to go yet. We're going to approach the random light, see what it has to say for us. And we're confused, and we've lost our way. But we do get some experience, so it's not necessarily a bad thing. There's a cave there, which might be somewhere to spend the night. But let's go up to this chest first, if we can. Oh, that's a big increase in... That's the problem. There's a big increase in energy loss. No, don't go. Stop going the stupid way. Go the sensible way. Because climbing up such a steep surface requires a lot of energy. Although it's quicker, I think we need to preserve energy over time and try to avoid as much dangerous terrain as possible. I'm hoping to get a few more cans of food or something similar. There's a shrine up there which might be good. Your breath is taken away. Towering in front of you on the slope are bizarrely shaped masses of ice and snow, and several tents not far away. Who set up camp here? You call out, but no one answers. We approach the camp, see what we find. It's been abandoned, but we find something useful. Thunder Charm, plus 20% energy on all terrain, but at a loss of sanity. Let's see. 0.5 sanity down per hour. We're not going to wear that, but we'll take it with us. And then, should we have a real issue with energy, I think we'll take it. There's a cave there which we could potentially go for. Although our energy won't let us get there, so let's push to this shrine if we can. Hopefully the shrine will give us energy. We need to keep a little bit of an eye on our body temperature, because it's getting a little bit low, but we'll have to see. There's a cave down there, which might be a little bit better to get to, but first of all some rough stone. We take a little bit of an issue with our health, but hopefully that's not going to be a terrible concern. We do have 26 health. We'll just have to manage. We can get sanity back, or we can get warmth back. We don't have any tea. I'm going to take the warmth, because we are dealing with cold nights. Can we make it to this cave? We can't. That's unfortunate. We might need to spend the night. I think we might have to use our tent for the first time, which I'm not thrilled by, but I don't really see another option. I'd rather keep moving during the daytime, so we will use our tent, although that will come at a cost of body temperature. We might need to keep an eye on our body temperature going forward. Okay, now it's daytime. We should probably start pushing towards the mountain, otherwise we'll never make enough progress. That's a big cost in energy, but let's push down here for the time being. And then work from there. I suppose it's such a large cost to climb that mountain. So I think we'll go around a slightly less energy heavy route. We'll go up here. It's still pretty heavy in terms of energy, but at least we're starting to make some progress now. We're starting to make some progress towards the peak. As you walk past the massive crevasse, you hear faint cries for help. Looking into the depths, you identify an unfortunate mountaineer at the bottom of the chasm. We will go down to save him. We managed to save the mountaineer. His gratitude is beyond words. Oh, that might have been a mistake. We have no energy whatsoever. With anything that can give us energy. Oxygen, but that hardly helps us at all. So we're going to have to sleep. Maybe I just sleep out in the open, just get some energy back. If I stepped outside, it's a big whack of body temperature down and sanity down. What about a less asleep? Let's do a less asleep, just get some energy back. I do need to watch my body temperature though, because it is cold at night. That was not worth going to save the man, but after we accidentally killed someone in the previous previous events, we need to be a little bit more forgiving and help people out, I think. Okay. This is definitely a tough mission, that's for sure. And so is this terrain, which I'm not thrilled by in the slightest. There's a cave up there. Can we make that cave? No, we can't. There's a bunch of events there, though. Oh, dearie me. This is a tough one, that's for sure. Can we make it to that cave? Technically, if we made it to that cave, we have to cross so much terrain. There's no way we're going to make it there without encountering an event. That's my problem. If I were to go purely across the snow, would that work? Because we have these snow boots. That might be the better option. Let's try that. If we go on snow as much as possible, micromanage it so we can make it to that cave. That'd be ideal. Whether we'll actually be able to make it, I don't know, but this is certainly the better option I've had so far. I'm not thrilled about the amount of events we're having to encounter. There's a bunch of events there. And the problem is there's events here on the ice as well. And we can't go in these rocky bits either. Let's try that. It's a little bit of a longer route round, but we might be able to make it to the cave. Not with the glacial lake in the way, though. Walk across the lake. Oh, we can't. It's such a long detour. It's going to absolutely knacker our body temperature. Because it's night time. We're going to walk across the lake. The ice groans and creaks and crunches with your every step. You've almost made it to the other side of the lake when cracks appear beneath your feet. Before you even understand what's happening, you break through the ice. You swallow the icy water. Your arms flail around. Your feet meet solid ground and you stand up. The water only comes up to your hips. Big loss of body temperature. Not good at all. Not good in the slightest. Hopefully we can get some tea from an event somewhere. There must be a safe route somewhere across here. I'm determined to make it to that cave. That's my only real respite in this area. There's so many unsafe ways to go. That's a little bit better, a little bit safer. The air is getting thin, your breath is heavy. You've entered the death zone. You pause for a moment to prepare for the difficult path towards the summit. We can keep our... We'll take it slow to help with our oxygen levels. I think our oxygen's probably okay. I'm almost tempted to mend my wounds. I think we'll do that, actually. Because we're about to go to sleep for 8 hours, so the other ones don't really matter that much. Because we won't get the best use of time out of them. So I think we'll get to this cave. Thankfully, we didn't manage to make it. You enter a vast cave. Several passages lead deep into the mountain. You listen again, you hear metallic clanging coming from one of the passages, and someone is banging a hammer against a heat pipe. We're not going to follow the noise. We don't have the heat or the energy to be able to deal with it. We're going to lie down and sleep. Our body temperatures can get lower and lower. We really need it to warm up a little bit. We really need it to warm up in a hurry. Do these give us any... Okay, we can take the moon herbs or consumable items. That helps us with body temperature. Oh, I should be wearing these fur gloves. I should absolutely be wearing these fur gloves. I should have been wearing those the entire time, really. We'll just have to take the increased energy cost, but having the fur gloves back on might just save us in terms of body temperature. Now, where are we in comparison to the... We're still a little bit of way to go before we get to the top of the mountain. Goodness me, scientists. This has been a tough one. We just entered the death zone. We're on our way to the summit. There's something up there. A couple of items. It's another big cost of energy, but we don't really see what other things we can do. We're having to climb up very high here. Hopefully we can find some more energy-related stuff at some point soon. Oh, there's a shrine there, but I don't think we're going to be able to make it there, unfortunately. Our body temperature is slowly increasing. We cannot stay and dig it up. We're just going to have to keep going. There's a cave there, which we can just make it to, and then we'll sleep there again and keep pushing forward. We're just going to lie down and sleep. We get some body temperature back. It does mean we're moving during the night time, which is not ideal. And we do lose quite a bit of oxygen as well. We could sleep briefly. Might be a better option. I think we'll do that, actually. We'll sleep briefly. Gets us some energy back. And we'll push to this shrine. This shrine might give us something useful. You sit down on a rock to relax. A pleasant warmth fills your body. Do we want warmth or do we want sanity? I'm going to take the warmth. Sanity does not seem to be a huge concern at the moment. We're not far from the very top now. We can't quite push there just yet, but we'll keep on going. And we'll see if we can get to the top. There's a couple of shrines here, a couple of events that we could go for, but I think right now we want to push to the very top. Because I strongly suspect we're going to have to find our way out of here as well. In the meantime, what do we see from the fragile ice? I could give it a try. I don't have the energy to get the food. That's unfortunate. Can we afford to sleep here in the open? If I sleep for a long time, all that whacks our body temperature down. We'll use the tent. Okay, we'll use the tent. We'll use the tent because hopefully in the long run it'll be better off for us. We do have some oxygen bottles. We can use the oxygen bottles if we need them. For now, though, let's push to that very top and see what we find there, because I suspect that's not going to be the end of this mission. It's most certainly been a very tough one, that's for sure. Make it to the summit. We're going to be about 7,500 meters. That's pretty tall. Can't remember how tall Everest is, but it must be pretty similar. Your heart races as you haul yourself up the summit. You did it. Finally. You immediately look at the structure. A steel mast rises into the sky, and metal wire supports the large struts that sprout from either side of it. It's definitely an antenna. You move closer, taking out the amulet. The stone in your hand pulses strongly, evenly. The wires on the mast begin to vibrate, and you hear a humming sound. It's quiet at first, but continues to grow louder and louder. It seems the young woman was correct, at least about the radiation. It's strong up here. But it's strong enough. Is it strong enough to stop the time loop? Deep in thought, you lean against the mast. You notice a few strange notches on one of the metal struts. You scrape away the ice. No, these aren't notches. They're letters. People have carved their initials into the steel. You gasp in surprise when you see your name right there alongside the others. So we've been here before, but we may not have realised it. What does it mean? Why can't you remember reaching the summit before? This whole thing is getting out of control. You have to get back and confront the mysterious stranger. Get a bunch of stats. Wonderful. We've climbed the peak of the second mountain, the Savage Mountain. But we've got to find our way out. Let's quickly level up. One more push. It's only for 48 hours. We may well have to be sleeping under the stars, so I'm going to take under the stars. We've got to find our way out. Doesn't look too terrible, but a long way to go just yet. But I think we will do that next time. We've made it to the top. We've got a long way to go yet before we fully understand what's going on here. That's our starting location, a very long way away. But we'll have to see how things go. For the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.